So, Lone Rider here, and a word of caution about what you may read on Wikipedia. The information isn't always complete and correct. This is from the Wikipedia entry on Watchung Reservation, and they're talking about the, quote, mountain biking controversy. Now, it's interesting they put this at 2017 because, well, the controversies existed as long as mountain biking has been forbidden in Watchung, which started in 1995. And it was only in 2014, 2015 that myself and other local riders got involved and actually started filing Open Record Act requests, doing research, and actually getting to the bottom of it. And as a result of our efforts, the government said they were going to allow mountain biking, and they took a lot of steps to do so, and then they dragged it out for 3 years, and in 2017 they went back on their word. But it's interesting they describe this as a controversy from 2017 when it dates to at least 1995. So in 2017, local controversy erupted over mountain biking enthusiasts, including the Jersey Off-Road Bicycle Association, making efforts to introduce mountain biking to the reservation. Now, that makes it sound like mountain biking had never occurred there before. In fact, it was going on from sometime in the 1980s up through 1995 when it was prohibited in a backroom meeting of unelected officials who, never passed a law, never passed an ordinance because they weren't unelected officials. They just declared, stuck their hands in the air, by the power of Grayskull, mountain bikes are banned. But this makes it sound like there'd never been mountain biking there ever before, and all of a sudden somebody wanted to introduce this newfangled thing called mountain biking. Yeah, not exactly accurate. And then it says, the Sierra Club, other environmentalists, and hikers claimed the county had failed to behave transparently in working with a group of cyclists and bicycle store owners and pushing a plan to carve 13.5 miles of bike-only trails. They asserted that no environmental impact studies had been performed on the reservation. Now, interesting thing about that, no environmental impact studies were performed on the reservation prior to banning mountain biking in 1995. So why should they have to do such a study to rescind the ban? The ban obviously had nothing to do with actual conditions there. It was some people didn't like mountain biking. So let me put it this way: since environmental impact was not the reason for the ban, why would it be a reason to oppose rescinding the ban and allowing mountain biking? This is. But again, you don't have to bring that up if you never mentioned that there was mountain biking before and it was extra legally prohibited in a backroom meeting. If you just, start in the middle of the story and, oh my gosh, this new thing came about in 2017, then obviously, yes, you don't have to address what happened before because you're basically pretending it didn't happen. And then they say county had gone straight to hiring an engineering consultant firm, CME Associates, to make the plan for the bike-only trails. Now, they did actually hire a consultant, CME Associates. They were paid a great deal of money. The contract was actually specifically amended to pay them extra money for the mountain bike part of the trail plan, which was approved, voted on and approved, and repeatedly promised over several years. Now, interestingly, according to Government Response and Open Record Act requests, when the trail plan was canceled in 2017, they never re-amended the contract. That was specifically an updated version of the contract that removed the payment for the mountain bike part of the trail plan, was specifically requested information about that in an Open Record Act request that I filed. The response was that there was no such thing. So presumably, this consultant, according to government responses in a legal document, is getting paid for work they didn't have to do. The contract was specifically amended to pay them extra money for the mountain bike part of the trail plan, and then the mountain bike part of the trail plan was canceled, but the contract was never changed back, right? Of course, this isn't in there either. It makes it sound as if the mountain bikers were in cahoots with CMA Associates. Actually, what appears to have happened is that they used mountain bikers' concerns about this extra legal ban and our desire to get fair park access and have the ban overturned and allow mountain biking to enrich their buddies. That's what it looks like. I don't know if that was the actual plan all along, but that's kind of how it worked out, right? The contractors changed to pay them extra money for something that they then canceled, but they never changed the contract back. And again, this isn't me saying this. This is what the county said when I specifically requested these, the documents and contracts and things. No, we don't have any changed or amended contract after the vote to cancel the mountain bike plan. Well, that sounds to me an awful lot like they're still getting paid then for something that they no longer have to do because it was canceled. So, yeah, the mountain bikers got screwed. Anybody who was interested in fair park access got screwed. The ban from 1995, which this Wikipedia entry never seems to acknowledge because it starts in 2017 talking about this as if this quote, local controversy, unquote, in 2017 is completely unrelated to the county government's own actions in the preceding 20 years. Why would there be an effort to overturn a ban? If you don't mention the ban, you don't have to talk about any of that. It just looks like, a bunch of mountain bikers wanted to introduce something new that was never there before. And then it's on the mountain bikers to prove why you should be allowed to ride there. Do a trail, as they say here, do a environmental impact study or a trail study. Well, there was no environmental impact study done prior to banning mountain biking. Why should there have to be one done prior to rescinding the ban or allowing mountain biking? I mean, again, these are things you don't have to get into if you treat this as if it's something that started in 2017. There's a lot more, of course, involved, but that's just some basic stuff that I've noticed here. So, word of warning, when you're reading something like Wikipedia, it's nice that they have a entry on this, but how about the roots of the controversy, which is the government's extra-legal policy of banning mountain biking based on a decision made in a back room by the unelected without any public input or knowledge at the time, 20 years ago. So what you're going to see here is not the whole story, and I don't know, I guess that shouldn't be a surprise. So, Lone Rider out.